Welcome back to my Napoli Football Manager 2018 series, where today it's the start of my second season in charge of the club. In today's episode 13, we're going to take on Juventus in the Italian Supercup. So it's the winners of the league versus the winners of the cup, I think. I think that's how it works in Italy, so a bit like the Community Shield, I suppose, in England. Only one match today because I'm going to focus on transfers and what's happened since the end of last season. Of course, I've started uploading my Score One Steal One series. If you want to check that out, something just a little bit different, a bit fun. Might not be your cup of tea if you're into more serious style saves like this, but maybe give it a go and see what we think. You guys voted for me to continue with the Napoli series. I'm actually really enjoying it. I can see this going on more than 2 seasons. We'll see how this season goes. I think once I've won the Champions League, that's I've completed this save. Because remember, I started this on the beta, and we're still unbeaten in the league. Can we do that for 2 whole seasons? We'll find out, won't we? Anyway, you'll see there's a few new names in here. You may have spotted a few new names anyway. And there's a few players that have left the club. It has, on the whole, been a busy transfer window. We've not got a huge amount left in the kitty after a few transfers. Zielinski, I have transfer listed because he's unhappy and wants to leave. So I'm trying to get about 20 million for him at least. And I've had a bid from Middlesbrough, but he rejected the contract. So I'm still trying to get rid of him. Diawara's had some interest from PSG, Real Madrid, as you can see there. I'm not going to accept those sorts of figures. I need to be accepting a lot of money. Adamunas, I want to push on this season. He had a decent spell out on loan in France for the second half of last season. And I would like him to kind of be back up for Insigne. He's not really an inside forward, but I do see him being a decent option on the left-hand side. Anyway, this is what has happened so far. We've still got some time left in the transfer window, so episode 14 will focus more on what has happened by the end of the transfer window. We've spent £132 million. We've sold £94 million worth. The big name coming in then. Let's just look at transfers in first. As you can see quite clearly, the transfers on the screen, but I just want to talk you through them. Marco Asensio, absolutely amazing player. Really tipped for the top, isn't he, at Real Madrid? £85 million. Hell of a lot of money. Not all of that is in one go. I think half of it is in instalments over the next couple seasons. But he really is a quality player. And to get him for £85 million is a lot of money, I know. But it kind of is a bit of a bargain, considering how good he is, how young he is. And if I was to continue the save for a couple more seasons, he'd be a real star for the club. I'm sure he's going to be a star this year. He's our main man in attacking midfield, and the simple reason for that is I've sold the club captain, the legend of Napoli, Marek Hamšík, has gone. £50 million. Before you get angry or confused as to why I've sold him, firstly, remember he now is 31 years old, and £50 million for a 31-year-old it's a lot of money. And to say no to PSG is a difficult thing, but to say no to £50 million, that really is tough. He ended up winning Italian Player of the Year, by the way, last season. After a really good second half of the season, he won Player of the Season from my fans because of obviously he's loved. The fans on the game really angry at me for selling him, but I just think it's the right thing to do at this point. He caused so many dynamic problems. He was actually causing dynamic problems just before he left as well because he wanted me to sign better quality players. I brought in Asensio. I mean, that would have cheered him up. But then the £50 million bid came in for PSG, and I thought, I've got Hamšík, I've got Asensio, and I've got Lallana that can play in those positions. I gotta say yes to this. So that's why he's gone. Jorginho's also gone for £20 million because he was causing problems dynamically. He's not happy about being second or third choice to Rog. And £20 million for a player that is possibly third choice central midfielder. I know he's a quality player, but once again, Man City, he'd be annoyed if I didn't let him go. So I let him go. That's the thing on this game. You really have to be careful. If you might think, oh, you've got to hold on to them at all costs. But there's player power involved in the real life game these days, more so than ever, and it's been translated across to Football Manager more so than ever. And if you do not keep them happy, they will rebel, they'll get the whole team against you, and you will have real problems. So I had to let him go. Other transfers going out, Zapata, he had already been agreed before I even started this save. A few sort of second choice players. Second choice goalkeeper Sebi's gone to Huddersfield. Giaccherini decided to sell him. He's 33 years old, £1.9 million. We've also sort of a couple backup strikers that were out on loan last season, and I don't even know who this guy is. Central midfielder who was out on loan last season as well. So I've managed to get quite a bit of money in to sign players, because I didn't get a huge amount of money to spend this season. I think it was like 25 million. So I've done quite well to get the players I have done because of selling certain players. Now I've focused on trying to get some good youngsters in. The next highest player, 13.5 million, for Felix Udokai. I'm going to call him Felix. He's a German centre-back. He is a wonder kid. Oh, he's in that sort of wonder kid bracket. I don't think the game describes him as a wonder kid. Let's just have a look. Just described as a centre-back. But I feel like he could turn into a good centre-back. A lot of money, considering Wolfsburg only spent 900k last year on him. But he's a ball-playing centre-back. He fits into my system quite nicely. Next up, in terms of value-wise, Matteo Darmian. Now, 12.5 million. Is it 12.5? 12.25 million for him. I don't think it's too bad. He's going to be my backup for right and left back. I don't have a backup for both of those. I've only got one backup between the two positions. So he's the perfect player to fill in at right or left back. 28 years old. He's obviously he's not really young, but he's not really old. He's in his prime. He's Italian as well. So coming back to Italy, I think he could be a very good player for us when we need him. Also coming in, Ezequiel Palacios, who is another one of those players that's kind of considered a very good youngster on Football Manager. He's from Argentina. You can't really sign, I think we can only sign 2 non-EU players in Italy. So he's, filling up one of that quota really. 5.5 million, like I said. Borzo only signed him last season. Didn't have a very good year, but I think he can play well for us. Aaron Lennon did very well for us, and you might be thinking, where's Aaron Lennon? Why didn't you sign him? I did a poll on the last video, and no just about slightly beat yes. And the other thing is, Everton gave him a new contract. His value went up. It would have cost a lot of money to sign him, and they didn't want. I did try and sign him on loan again, but they didn't want to let him go. They want to give him a first team place, probably because he played so well for me. So Aaron Lennon, goodbye, my friend. Adam Lallana's going to miss you. But Palacios is kind of his replacement. He's not spectacular at anything, but I think his high work rate will work well in my system, sort of getting up and down that right hand side. Good technique, first touch, okay crossing and dribbling, okay for pace. It's not amazing, but he's kind of similar to Aaron Lennon in that sense that he's not amazing, but I kind of feel like he could do a good job down the right hand side. David Raya from Blackburn, of all places. Now you might think this is a bit strange, but he is a sweeper keeper attack. He's the perfect backup for Reina. He's also Spanish. He's only 22. He does have potential to be a decent goalkeeper. In League One last year, he only conceded 35 goals. But yeah, that's League One. 22 clean sheets. I assume Blackburn got promoted. No, they didn't get promoted. No, but they had a good defence, I think, because 22 clean sheets is pretty good. And I think, yeah, he's a great backup option for Reina. I think he's going to be a quality player for us when we need him. Next up is Robert, who I presume is pronounced Robert or something like that, because he's Spanish. From Valencia, you may know him. He's not amazing. He's pretty average, but he's same ability as Palacios, but 6 years older, slightly better at crossing and dribbling, slightly better, faster as well. Doesn't work quite as hard, but he might be first choice down the right. It's between him and Palacios. It's certainly our weakest position if you look at star rating. But Lennon was our weakest position, weakest player last year in terms of star rating, and he got the highest average rating. So that position does enable that player to play well. So hopefully Robert and Palacios will do a good job down that right hand side for us, whoever plays. Next up, just my most recent signing, Renato Sanchez on loan. Now this was I've signed him because I think Zielinski is going to go. I'm hoping he goes. At the moment we've got Zielinski, Sanchez and Rog who can play in the Roman playmaker role. Sanchez perfectly fits the Roman playmaker role. He also fits the new Mazzala role, which I haven't used. And Bayern Munich, it's a lot of money. £10 million over the season is a hell of a lot of money for a loan signing. I know. But he's a quality player. And if I was to sign him outright, it would cost like 100 million. I tried to put a deal in there where I could sign him at the end of the season. They weren't having any of it. So we've got him on loan. he might be first choice. He might be ahead of Rog. We'll have to see. And lastly, Jorge, the Brazilian left back. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm going to go with Jorge. Let's go. No, because it's not got an accent. We'll just go with York. Let's go with that. And he's come on loan from PSG. Went on loan to Schalke last year. No, not PSG. Monaco, sorry. Went on loan to Schalke last year. Monaco don't want him for some reason. I like him. He was absolutely incredible on like FM 15 or 16. I think it was 16. He was amazing. Still only 22. He's been capped by Brazil as well. He's a good player. And I couldn't get Digne back from Barcelona. He signed a new contract there and they didn't want to loan him out and they wanted like 50 million for him. So that was our best left back option. Might slightly regret selling Goulam to Chelsea now. But Jorge is going to be a star, I promise you. I shouldn't really promise things like that, should I? In other news, I haven't really shown the staff situation, have I? But we have brought in a few more staff members, a few more scouts to come in. And I don't really know much about scouting. All I know is I've got the world package for the senior and the youth package. Brought in a few new physios, got a sports scientist, didn't realise I didn't have one. That will help with the injuries, that's for sure. Let's look at the dynamics then. What does it look like now we've made some new signings? Pepe Reina is our new captain. Insigne is the vice captain. So these are the influential players, and then you've got the non-influential players down there. Social groups, we do have a bigger others group because of new signings. We've got a secondary social group B, which consists of Insigne and Darmian together for some reason. Then you've got this social group A. The core social group, strangely enough, doesn't have our team leaders in there. Reina, Mertens and Insigne aren't in that top social group, which is interesting. Most of the players seem to be pretty happy. Insigne's only content. He's not particularly happy with me by the looks of it for some reason. Koulibaly does kind of want to leave, preferably for like PSG or someone like that. Same with Diawara, really. They're just... I've given them I think I've given them like 2 contracts in the last year that I've been manager, and they're still not 100% sure about the Napoli project. Zielinski obviously wants to leave. I'm trying to get rid of him, and he just doesn't want to go. Let's just turn my face off so you can see the list of the first team then. So, what do you think? What do you think of the new look Napoli team? You could argue that it's maybe slightly weaker than last year, but at the same time, if I was to do a couple more years, I kind of built for those years because we do have some good youngsters in here. Malang Sarr will be first choice alongside Koulibaly this year, I think. I mean, it's between him, Felix and Maximovic. I'm not sure who will be the best option, but I would quite like Malang Sarr to be our star man alongside Koulibaly. I think he's good. He's improved since he's arrived. So I've got high hopes for him. I'm just going to quickly look at a comparison before we get on with today's game against Juventus. I feel it's always a good idea to do this before you start a season, just to see how you compare. You can see, for example, we're top for things like first touch, passing, work rate, and teamwork. So, you know, we've got a strong team, I think, overall. Goalkeeper-wise, we don't have the best goalkeepers because we play a certain style of play. Reina and Raya will be sweeper keepers. You can see the best in the league at kicking. Best in the league at throwing. That's the style that we play. There's 3 things that are below average here. We've got the 15th best at aerial ability. So goalkeeper-wise, not the best. Same with the defenders. We're not the best at certain things like positioning. In fact, look at this. Second. We do have a good defence, even though I would say it's a bit weaker than before. We are either the second best or the first best. That's interesting. That is good to know. So even though I've signed a couple of youngsters, we've basically got the best defence. Maybe Juventus will be a bit better, I don't know. Midfield, the best for everything apart from tackling. Attacking-wise, the best for everything apart from heading and jumping, and we don't play that style of football. Physically, very good apart from jumping and strength. Once again, we're not really reliant on that style of play. Mentally, we're the best for those 3 things at the end. There's a few that aren't quite the best, but, you know, we're up there. Only positioning is below average. And technically very strong as well. We've got a quality team. We should be challenging Juventus once again for the top spot and hopefully going on and winning comfortably like last season. We are the second favourites though. Juventus are the favourites this season, just like last year, to win the league. Anyway, let's get on with this game. I can't remember if I showed the team, but we'll have a look in a second. This is the team that is taking on Juventus. Palacios is making his debut, as is Asensio. And Jorge as well, up against a strong Juventus. Oh, they're playing Moise Kean up front. I actually asked if I could get him on loan, and they said yes. So it's interesting that they're playing him up front instead of Higuain. Is he injured, or is he left? They're not playing Mandzukic up there either. They've got some quality players, but maybe they're just building fitness. I've actually got a friendly game after this, before the first league game, because it starts quite late in Italy, the league season. Special day for the supporters. Let's go for that one. We're still playing the pretty indestructible tactic. We've gone with the counter tactic this season as probably the predominant one, except when we're playing weaker opposition, which is, to be fair, going to be most of the time. I should really be attacking, but Juventus, we got to go counter, haven't we? Especially at the start. I'm excited for this second season. Please hit that like button if you are too. I'm sure there's plenty of you happy that this is continuing. I really got into that first season after. I mean, I've enjoyed every episode, every part of that season, but considering we were like continuing to go unbeaten in the league, it was kind of the challenge just to go to the end of the season unbeaten, and we managed to do it. We didn't quite manage to win that Champions League, knocked out by PSG, but it was still an entertaining season, as Mertens, not sure what he was doing there, fires the ball over the bar. Been boring so far, but we've won a free kick. Insigne whips it in. Koulibaly, oh, good header, 1-0. Good free kick from Insigne as well. He just floated that in. It was just asking to be headed behind into the back of the net. Look at that. Boom, solid header. Who's their keeper? Buffon's retired, hasn't he? Szczesny is in goal. So looking at their team compared to mine, I feel more confident in my team. There's something about it I really like. I mean, where's Dybala? Has he gone? Have they sold Dybala? I suspect so. So possibly the Juventus team has got... My team, you could argue, has got slightly weaker. But I think the Juventus team has probably got even more weak. I just want to have a look at their transfers whilst we're here. Who's left the club? Transfer history. They've only signed Douglas Costa, so he's on a permanent now. But leaving the club, Dybala's gone to Chelsea for £88 million, rising to £100 million. Caldera's gone. So they must still have Higuain. Where is he? He is at Juventus. Oh, he's injured for 46 months. So that's good. He's injured for the first half of the season. That is a positive thing for us, for certain. Just going to say pleased with how it's going. Keep it up. Can we make more than 3 subs in this game? I have no idea on the rules. And Zukic has come on for Douglas Costa. Another injury for Juventus. 2 yellow cards for us. It's been a pretty boring game, to be honest. I'm going to throw on El Neni for Diawara. And I'm going to throw on Renato Sanchez for his debut as well. He's coming on for Rog. Let's see what he can do in the middle of the park. Corner. Insigne whips it across. Headed away. Asensio's charging it after it. It's into Koulibaly. Oh, I didn't show you the friendly results. I'll have to show you at the end of the game because we won 13-0 in the last friendlies. Oh, Asensio goes for goal from long range. Good effort. And he's about to take this corner, which he whips in. It was a decent ball in. It's back to Renato Sanchez and over the bar from El Neni in the end. Last sub then. Asensio quite tired. Let's bring on Adam Lallana. Oh no, Palacios has got injured. And can I make a sub? I presume so. No, I can't. I'm out of substitutes. So I'm going to put a Lallana there and we'll just, I guess, hold on for the last few minutes. Try and get the win. That's a bit of a blow. Let's hope he's not properly injured. What's it say? Potential groin injury. That's not good. Juventus have literally done nothing. Of note anyway. We've not seen any highlights. They've apparently had 7 shots. But it looks... Oh, 2 minutes. Maybe they will get a goal back. Insigne, can he run it clear? What's he doing? Running into 3 players. Lallana. Into Renato Sanchez. Charges forwards, but loses it. And Malang Sarr... Yeah. Can we hang on for 1 more minute? Be nice to start the season with a competition victory. Chiellini is running up with a long throw. Mandzukic heads it on. Husai, I think. Is it? Oh, damn it. Right at the death. We didn't deserve that, did we? So will it go to penalties or extra time? Please not extra time. We can't be having extra time in a pre-season. Oh, there is extra time. Why is there extra time in a competition like this? Unlucky, boys. That's irritating. I'm going to put Lallana back there. We'll have no right winger. Renato Sanchez can go that side just to protect that side a bit more. Never mind. We're likely to lose now with 10 men, aren't we? Pjanic fires a free kick in. Oh, it's a penalty. Well, we're going to start the season with a defeat. I can still say we're unbeaten in the league, can't I? Oh, Pjanic misses and then he didn't go for the rebound. A lifeline for Napoli. Just realised I brought Asensio off. He's our best penalty taker. My players are getting knackered as a result of this game. It's stupid. Why has it gone to extra time? Why can't it just go straight to penalties? It doesn't even mean anything, this competition, does it? It's just the Community Shield of Italy. Okay, let's stop moaning, Paul. Let's just try and enjoy the last few minutes of this game. Even if it has been a bloody boring one. They've picked up another injury. It is just injuries all round because of having to play extra time. Renato Sanchez into El Neni. Can we? I think we might be 10 men each now. Maybe I should go attacking. Lallana back to Malang Sarr. Interesting passing from us, but we're keeping hold of the ball. Here's Lallana Grain. Renato Sanchez finds Husai. Husai back to Renato Sanchez, who gives the ball away. That's poor from him. And now Castanos coming forwards. That is an awful effort. Penalties it is then. So Renato Sanchez, Jorg, or however it's pronounced, Lallana. It doesn't really matter. Penalties are penalties. Anyone can miss them. Anyone can score them. Mandzukic steps up to start with then. Goal. Mertens' turn. Goal. It's not the most exciting thing to commentate on, is it? Penalties. What can you do? Another goal. Yes, another goal. It's 2-2. Matuidi. Can Reina save this one? Nope, he can't. 3-2. El Neni, the Egyptian. What's he gonna? Is he gonna stick it in the back of the net? He isn't. It's saved by Szczesny. Castanos for Juventus. And Reina, why did you dive there? The ball was coming towards you. You just jumped out the way. Come on, Renato Sanchez. You got to stick this in the back. Why are we watching this? This is not a highlight. Hurry up. Ow. Just stabbed myself with a fingernail. Okay, Renato Sanchez. Goal. Is this the... Oh, this is a crucial one. Cuadrado. This is goal. They've won. I think. Yeah, they've won. Look at that. Some A4 paper coming down. Emptied a few printers. Laser printers over the top of the pitch. And Juventus have won the Italian Supercup or whatever competition we were in. I'm going to say, hold your heads up, guys. It's not the end of the world. But we have lost our first competitive game of the season. Palacios is out 4 to 5 weeks. Not great. It does mean Robert is going to have to come in. So, the next video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play until the end of the transfer window. So, I will probably show the Roma game and the first Champions League game in the next episode. I'll play Frosinone in the background, and then we'll take on Roma and an unknown Champions League team. We might sign some new players. Oh, by the way, these are the friendly results, as you can see there. We did lose one game in pre-season, but 13-0, not too shabby. I know it's against I don't even know where they're from. San Gionio 1926, an amateur team. We just thrashed them 13-0. Poor guys. Anyway, thank you for watching today's episode. Ended in a little bit of a disappointment. It's not the end of the world. Please hit that like button regardless. And I will see you in episode 14.